How are we doing, folks? Not my normal motorbike stuff, but did a bit of a long trip last week in the car, something like 900 miles, and 4 or 5 times when I stopped and started I kept getting this up on the dash. So it comes up as a error stop start if I scroll through, keep going. It's cleared now. See if we can get it to come back. I know what this one is, but it's an ABS fault, so I'm just going to turn it off, turn it back on, see if we can get it to come back up. Okay, so I can't get it to come back on for some reason, but I'll guarantee if I go to the shops or something, as soon as I pull up outside the shop, nip in, come back out, it'll be back on. So what normally happens to get it up here comes up as an ABS fault here, but also you get the ABS symbol and the low tyre pressure symbol here. So I've just done a quick scan to wake the phone up. So I've got 2 faults, but I think this top one brings on the lower one, I think. So obviously connected to the ABS unit are the 4-wheel speed sensors, and what it's saying is 00287 is the right rear ABS wheel sensor. Electrical error in circuit. Now I'm hoping that it's only that and not relating to like where they actually all go back to the CAN bus and plug back into the ABS unit on the car, because I think this second one, 00668, is actually relating to the feedback voltage from this ABS sensor. So I'm going to get it in, going to pull the wheel off and just have a quick look at that at the sensor. I'll measure the values, maybe see if I can get it to trigger with a magnet or something. But anyway, be back in a sec when I've got it jacked up and we'll have a look. And it just started raining, typical. Anyway, see you in a second. There we are, there's the fault, and there's all the lights that come on. So I've just started it to put it in the garage out the rain to do it. Touch the starter and it's like lit up like a Christmas tree. And now it's gone off on its own. Still got the stop start error, but that's me because I've disconnected the sensor wire from the battery, because I just get fed up with the thing stopping and starting when you're in traffic. It's just an easy way to overcome it. So in the garage, let's have a look. Okay, so there's the back of the hub assembly, and there's the plug. Really difficult to get to. I'm just gonna give it a really good spray. I've even just tried to get the plug off. You know, you press the little clip and I can't even get the little clip to go in. So I'm just going to give it a soak with some penetrating oil and maybe round the securing Allen key as well, or torque bit. I can't even see that, whether it is a torque bit or an Allen key yet. And see if we get the cap off and take some readings, and hopefully the sensor will come out easy, because the last one of these I had to drill out. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've removed it's a 5mm Allen key from the sensor. It's absolutely solid and it's buried in too far, so I can't get to it. So I'm going to have to try and tap it out from this side. So I've got to take the caliper off, a couple of M13s, that should swing the caliper out the way, and a T30 for the disc, and then it looks like I'll have to take the hub off. But let's get this and the disc off first, and then we'll be back to see if we've got to take the hub off to actually get to it. I think we have to, but back in a second anyway. Okay, the brake caliper is off
and the disc is off. Oh, and bonus, don't often get lucky, but the actual disc will come off without taking the carrier off, which is an absolute bonus because they are absolutely tight, the carrier bolts. I think this is same as a Sirocco or a Mark 6 Golf or something. All this lot's aluminium, this is steel, and they do tend to fur up and bite and grip. But anyway, there's our sensor. So I've given it a good soak from behind. I have tried to move it from behind, but it's going to end up snapping it off. So this thing here, this band, in fact I've got a new one of them somewhere. Just hold on a second, I'll just go and get it. This little ring here on the back, you can just see this thing. It's like a reluctor ring, and it's got magnets set in it, like, you know, you watch around your fridge door to hold the fridge door shut. And if it'll stick, they're only very light. Oh, they are. It sticks on there, and they set in a sequence to send the pulses. So this is off. I used to have another Eos before this one, an early one, and I think that's the same as a Mark 5 Golf. So they might not be the same. They may be the same, I don't know. And they do rot off. So that's what that thing picks up on. So it's had a good soak, and I'm going to be very gentle doing it. I'm just wondering if I can tease that out without putting its moved, without putting too much weight on it. If I get in there, oh, that's a better angle. It's going, it's moving. Yeah, we're out. Okay, we're out. So let's get on the bench and have a measure. So I'll be back in a secondo. Okay. So the terminals, I don't know if that will catch on the camera. The terminals are pretty clean down there. There's no verdigris or anything growing on them. The sensor itself, now I've cleaned it up, doesn't look too bad, and it's a genuine, I would imagine it's a genuine sensor because it's an ATE sensor with a brake suppliers for Volkswagens of the year of this thing. So I'm looking for some continuity in here, so let's have a go. If we can get on these two with these crop clips, so maybe one in one direction and one in the other. Let's have a go. So I'm definitely on that one. Can I get on this one without touching anything? If I go that way, maybe. So we're definitely on them there, and they're not touching. So we'll go for an ohms reading. So straight away, this is auto ranging. It's switched to kilo ohms, and it's 38,000 ohms or 38 kilo ohms. I'm just going to write that value down. Just let me find my pen. It's gone up to 39 now, but obviously even temperature, when you're talking into the thousands of kilo ohms, it's obviously even temperature dependent. So the sensor's got continuity through it, so I'm happy with that. However, I did have a look online to see if I could find any resistance values for this, and I couldn't find anything, which is a bit disappointing. And there's no way I'm taking another one out from the other side to measure it, because it just took me an hour to get this far. So what it did say is, though, that measure with the ignition switched on. These are active sensors, not passive. So even though I might get a reading with a magnet, in fact, let's do that. That's a good test, isn't it? Just let me put these back on. So one on, two on. Back, now we want, well, back to ohms to make sure I've got a reading. So something's changed already, because I've now got 26 kilo ohms. Oh, there we go, we're back up in the 30s. So if I get a magnet, so this is one of these magnetic hook things, and I now switch to AC volts. It's going to be generating a sine wave, isn't it? Thought I would have got something there. Off, volts, ohms, volts, AC. I've only got AC or DC on there. Thought I would have seen something. Let's have another look to make sure I'm not shorting out or anything. Thought I would have picked something up there, but hey ho. So now I'm going to check the other end of the plug, the wiring in the car that goes directly back to the ABS unit, to see that I've got voltage. And it did say this was for a Mark 5 and a Mark 6 Golf and a Sirocco, which is all the same platform as this Eos, that I should have between 11.5 and 11.8 volts or something like that. So let me set that up with because I'll have to get some bits of wire to go into the plug, and we'll have a look at that. So back in a second. So there's our plug. I don't want to short anything out, so I've cut a couple of bits of stiff wire, and I'm just going to present them into there. The wires are different lengths, so they don't interfere with each other. And I'm just going to connect the multimeter to them, making sure that nothing's going to touch anywhere, he said. Okay, let me so turn the meter on DC now, don't we? Direct current, AC to DC. Stay. Don't know if you can catch that or not. Is the light reflecting on it? Maybe. Could be better. Right, let's turn on it. If I can open the door with a jack handle in the way, hold on. So we're looking between 11.4 to 11.8. So ignition on. ABS lights come on now. Because obviously the sensor's not connected. So what have we got? Oh, okay, I'm happy. That was my biggest concern, that there was a voltage issue, because that's what it came up with originally. So it didn't come on while I was driving, it only came on when you first turn on the ignition. If it comes on when you're driving, it's more likely to be a sensor or a reluctor ring issue. So I'm just going to clean everything up and put it back, and if it does come back again, because I can't get a value, an ohms value for a sensor. I'll just buy a new sensor and try it. So, and I can't swap left to right, not that I want to, because it's a big job to get there, because they're actually handed left and right, because there's a slight bias on the angle from where the bolt goes in to where the plug thing goes in. So let's put it back and just have a recap. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, everything's back. I've cleaned the hole out with a 10mm drill where the sensor goes, so it goes in and out really easily. I've lubricated the plug cap as well, so when you take the plug off the top it's easy to take off. So if I do need to put a new sensor in the future, it will only be a case of taking the wheel off. So let's switch on, press the clutch, and it would come on about now, and up to now we're good. So I'm just going to have plugged the, let's just straighten the wheel up a bit so I can see what's going on. So I've got the dongle plugged in, and connect. So connecting to the device. Can we put that there? Maybe. Connecting to the vehicle. Engine's running, so obviously switched on. So I know there's going to be at least, there's always two faults in here. One is created by me, because I unplug the battery sensor, so it doesn't keep stopping and starting, because it drives me mad when you pull up at the lights and it switches off. So diagnose, and the other one will be the air conditioning low pressure, because it is low, and sometimes I get an error with the radio saying that something's not connected, but you know, I don't listen to the radio anyway, but it all works. So it's now scanning the CAN. 2 faults detected, 3. So let's have a look-see. So what do? There we go. So there was our ABS, and there's nothing in there, so it won't open, which created a power steering one as well, and sometimes the steering angle came up. Media player, it's something to do with the auxiliary in. I don't think I've got auxiliary in, anything plugged in it. And the other one should be the heater, air conditioning, and that's the low pressure refrigerant. Did it say there was 3? Oh, and this is mine, because I've not got it plugged in. No signal, there won't be. So it looks like we're all okay. I'll just switch it off and switch it back on, because it's when you start, not when you're driving, it's actually when you first switch on and start. So after a few seconds it would normally come on about now. So maybe just cleaning the plug or whatever, I don't know. But what I'm going to do, because they're only 15 quid for a good quality one, I'm going to buy one anyway, throw it in the boot of the car, and it's only the hardest job will be taking the wheel off, and probably if I jack it up high enough I might be able to get underneath and change it without even taking the wheel off, because everything's now nice and free. So there you go. Not my usual motorbike stuff, but it's a gotta be done job. So we'll catch you on the next one. See you later, folks.